Okay, coaches, this is Coach Simpson. I'm with Coach Weber out in Kansas, and I'm very excited. He's the first guy I'll be talking to about our new newsletter we're putting out called Headsets, and we're going to have 12 guys that have agreed to put their time into for when none of us are getting any money. We're just doing it because we want to help the coaching community. And Coach Weber is going to be handling one of our sections, and so I wanted to introduce him to. I guess the social media world or the coaching world. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably already know him because he's put out a lot of great materials. And so I'll be heading up the newsletter, but like any good coach does, you pick people smarter and better than you to do the real work. And so I saw some of Coach's stuff. I thought it was very impressive, and I went out and recruited him as well as 10 other guys. But today we're talking to Coach Weber. So, Coach, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little about you?
Yeah, well, I'm Coach Lee Weber. This is my 20th year as a high school head football coach. I'm only 42. I've been in the game for 20 years. Somebody was, smart enough or dumb enough to hire me when I was 21 years old to be a head football coach. And I've kind of been running with it since then. And, I've been at Plainville High School, all of Kansas, Plainville, Mission Valley, Council Grove High School, Wamego High School. Now I'm at Rose Hill High School down by Wichita. And, one of those things where I want to pay it forward to all the coaches out there because I didn't really have the assistant coach experience that a lot of people do have, which is really valuable. And so, a lot of people paid it forward to me. So I want to make sure I pay it forward with, just things I can share that might help make everybody's job easier. Because I think we're all in it the same. There's no secret recipes. Everybody's the secret sauce is being the chef. So I'm not afraid to give out what I have and help everybody else out and help them learn how to cook, I guess.
Good. Yeah, Coach. Now, your stuff is great. I've kind of been following you on Twitter and looking. I know you put out multiple different research. We'll talk about that at the end here too, and a lot of really good stuff. But when I reach out to guys, you mentioned it. I always hesitant to ask guys to do things for free. I always try to, when I bring somebody in, I try to compensate them. But to do this project, we had to do it that way. And so you were very gracious, as well as the other guys, to come on so that we're able to kind of afford to put something out like this to coaches. So tell them a little bit about, each coach has a section. So I went out and tried to find experts in different sections of football, offense, defense, drills, strength and conditioning, head coaching 101. And probably most of our coaches could have done that section as well. But I kind of cherry picked you for a certain section. If you want to talk a little bit about that one.
Yeah, my section is going to be over offensive drills. I'm an offensive guy. I go out and hire somebody smarter than me to be my defensive guy. I try to learn a lot about defense, but my forte is coaching the offensive side of football. And, I'm a former offensive lineman, but as an offensive coordinator, I feel like, and the head coach, I feel like I should be able to coach every position. And over the course of my career, I have coached every position. So I've got a large bank of drills we've used throughout the years that I think fit for everybody's offense. We're going to try to give you the basic structure of a drill. Everybody has their own technique and cues, and I'll throw mine in there in the articles that I do. But I think the structure and the flow of the drill is the most important. I think we do a really good job of running our practices, and that's because we do a really good job of teaching our drill and setting up our drill and the rotation. So each article I put out will have, the diagram of the drill. It's going to have how you set it up, how you rotate through it. And then I'm going to walk you through how I teach it. And then also some ways that you can change and adapt it for yourself. I've got 3 up so far that I've kind of queued up, and I think they're really good and they can be used by anybody.
Yeah, Coach, I've seen the 3 that he sent us, and they're going to be really good. Guys, to me, any coach, if I'm a coach, that's usually the thing I go looking for is a drill that I can take. I can apply, I can use that. And then I think just looking at the first 3 coaches sent, no matter what offense you run, they will work. I mean, these are drills you can do that are not specific to wing tee or spread or power or whatever it's going to be. That's kind of where coaches go, and that's what I've asked him to do. And some of the goals that you've got, Coach, for your articles, I know you've talked already about giving drills guys can use, but let's talk a little bit about some other things that you're doing. So you're helping with this, and I know you've been putting some other stuff as well because I've seen it. So talk about maybe some of your other materials you've got out there if guys are wanting more from you.
Well, really, I'm kind of, and to know my own mind, I bounce all over the place with things, and I've got a lot of things out there. Maybe my newest things, I've wrote a children's book. And one of the most things I'm most proud of, wrote it from the perspective of my son. I sit every night and read my son's stories. My wife and I do. And there's never really a football one that doesn't involve like the dog stealing the football or something, really kind of kiddie. And so I wanted to write one from the perspective of coach's son. And so that's going to be coming out pretty soon. And our coach is going to link that. My other one, I had COVID recently and I was locked up in my basement for 10 days. And for 20 years, I've thought about writing a book about coaching and sharing some of my philosophies and some of my lessons. And it really came together for me because I had nothing else to do but watch Netflix. And so I decided I'm going to make use of my time and I'm going to sit down and write this book. And it may not be the perfect polished product. I have written on my whiteboard right over here in my conference room, progress, not perfection. And so what I did was I sat down and I made progress. And at a certain point, I'm just like, I'm putting this out. So it's called the Head Coaching Mentorship Manual. It's 30 lessons. It's on Amazon. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty valuable. It's 5-star rated. Few coaches. I haven't sold very many, but I've had a few coaches that have really enjoyed it. And we're going to make that part of the greater Kansas City area coaches, assistant coaches academy. They're going to use some of that, I believe. And so it's really good. Kind of on the other side of it, I'm a PE teacher by trade and a strength person by trade. I have a Google Drive for all those people teaching online right now or remotely. I put all my materials into a Google Drive. And then I have a couple ebooks that I self-publish and just put out myself. One, if you're into free lap timer, I'm a Feed the Cats guy. And I wrote it for my own purpose. I was tired of going to bookmarking all these different websites of how to run this drill with free lap or how to time this or all these things that I wanted all in one place. So I wrote how to get the most out of your free lap timing system. And it's got about 30 or 40 videos in it and different things. So that's one thing where you just reach out to me and I send it to you. And then my final book is, I have one on Amazon and then I have it self-published as well. Is about what we call our Thorough Thursday and Sprint Through Practice. It's really short. We have a different philosophy than some. I think everybody kind of has a walk-through practice on Thursday. Ours is a sprint through. And the real meat of it is on Thursdays, we go through like a Nick Saban, Bill Belichick meeting where we make all our decisions and go through we are about details. And I have a long list of what we go through each Thursday in our coaches meeting to kind of finalize our game plan and be ready and make those decisions. Like when we decide to go for it on 4th down, we've already talked about it the day before, and we've made that calm, rational decision instead of just flying by the seat of our pants. So
Good.
I'm always putting something out there. So
no, that's impressive, Coach. And I think the tagline that I use for the newsletter, it's headsets, and at the bottom of it is for coaches by coaches. And so to me, when I go buy books, and I know I've produced books as well, but when I go look to buy from a guy who's high school level coach who I can relate to and coach can relate to me. And so I'd highly recommend anything, high school coach is putting out. You're going to be able to get at least something, depending on what level you're at, but they'll be able to pull something from it. So Coach Weber, I really appreciate you coming on here, and guys, make sure you go check it out. Most of your stuff is on Amazon. I'm guessing, Coach, is that kind of
yeah, Amazon, or check my Twitter. I usually I try to promote it on there and my tweets, that stuff that I think people are interested in. So
sure, Coach, man. I appreciate having you on, and I'm looking forward to reading even more of your articles. And guys, the first few of these are going to start coming out in the middle of February. We're shooting for Valentine's Day, but our editor is my wife, and so I may give her one extra day, maybe the 15th. Be coming out there that second week of you better be careful there. But
if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right, Coach?
Yeah, yes. She's doing all the real work. We're just putting the material out and she makes it look good. That's kind of how the world works for me, at least. But coming out February the 15th, and then we'll have one every other week. And so this is going to run through July. And then, Coach, I'm going to sit with all the coaches and see, is this worth continuing? And we may make this a full year and just kind of go from there. But I think it's going to be a great deal. You can get signed up for the website. You can sign up for the newsletter if you want it through email. Just go to my website and I'll make sure there's right at the top. Just put your name, email, and it'll come to you every 2 weeks. You'll get it, or it'll be on multiple platforms. And so we'll kind of start advertising where those platforms will be, as we get closer. I appreciate you coming on, Coach Weber.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.